Joining me now is Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand from the state of New York. She sits on the Armed Services Committee. Senator Gillibrand, great to have you with us. Thanks very much for taking the time. The president, I want to start with some of the president's comments. He also said in that interview that New York, which you represent, should be totally fine and should have more than enough ventilators and other equipment. What is your assessment from what you're hearing?
I think the president's wrong, and he has been absolutely unhelpful in his constant rhetoric of pitting one state and one region against the other, including attacking our first responders and saying that somehow masks are missing. I think those comments are outrageous and shows that he is not an effective leader in a time of crisis. The New York first responders are doctors, our nurses, our EMTs, our front lines, firefighters, and police officers are doing everything being asked of them, working 24/7. They need masks. They need masks for the entire day. They need more ventilators. We still don't have enough ventilators. But because we have a good governor and a good New York City mayor, we have field hospitals being built in the Javits Center in Central Park. We have the U.S. Comfort arriving today, which will provide another 1,000 beds. I talked to the Secretary of the Army as well as the Secretary of the Navy about how we can mobilize our troops to be more helpful in these urgent issues of getting the supply chains up and running. I think the president took too long to use the facility of asking employers and manufacturers to start building and manufacturing more ventilators. He should have used the Defense Production Act earlier, and now we're behind the 8 ball. But I think he is wrong when he says New York has what they need.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there, and we actually have live pictures of the USNS Comfort pulling up there to the pier as it makes its way here to New York City. Those are live images on your screen. But Senator, you brought up the issue of the masks, and I want to talk about that a little bit because the president appearing to suggest that New York hospitals are hoarding or doing something else improper with this protective gear. Take a listen to what he said.
They've been delivering for years 10 to 20,000 masks. Okay, it's a New York hospital. It's packed all the time. How do you go from 10 to 20 to 300,000? Something's going on, and you ought to look into it as reporters. Where are the masks going? Are they going out the back door?
Your response to that, Senator, what do you make of the president suggesting that there may be something wrong and, going out the back door, as he said?
The president is trying to distract the American people. He's delusional, and he's attacking our first responders. He should never do that. These are the men and women who are literally risking their lives every day. And it's beyond understanding that he can't comprehend that before this epidemic, before a highly contagious virus was throughout our city and state and our country, people didn't have to wear masks every moment at work. They do today. So I think he's just purposefully creating conspiracy theories to distract from his lack of performance and his lack of leadership in this extraordinary and urgent time of need for people across the country.
Let me get your thoughts on something that impacts the state here. You, in the tri-state area, the CDC essentially implementing a new travel advisory for the residents here not to travel for 14 days. Should Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio follow it? And tell us a little bit how something like that would impact you as being a senator of this state, but right now, obviously having to work in D.C. for the time being.
I think the president, again, is pitting parts of the country against others, and I think he is not following what the health professionals are recommending. If he doesn't fully understand that every state in this country already has coronavirus, and some reasons for the disparity in numbers is that there's not a lot of testing in some states. So it's not that they don't have a lot of cases, it's that they haven't tested many people. New York has some of the best testing in the country right now. New York has drive-through testing in places that are epicenters of the disease. They have set up much more rapid testing facilities around the state. California has done the same, so has Seattle and Washington State, because those are the states and cities that were hit the hardest earliest. But you're seeing spikes now in Detroit, you have it in New Orleans. Every city in this country is going to have a deluge of patients, and once their testing is up and running, they'll know exactly how many they're going to have to treat. And so this is a global pandemic, and for President Trump, again, to be spiteful and conspiracy theorist, it's not helpful. He's not leading. He's not governing. He's trying to place blame on others for his failure to act urgently and early, as he should have. He should have been doing the work in January of getting ventilators stockpiled, of getting masks stockpiled out into communities. He should have not restricted the CDC to be the only source of testing for months. He should have allowed every lab in America to come up with a test. We just heard today or yesterday that we now finally have a rapid test from Abbott Labs. That is the key to beating the coronavirus. Once you have a rapid test that you can give to every doctor, every pediatrician, every community health center, every hospital, then we can know who has to quarantine and who doesn't. That is how you get the economy opened again, hopefully within the next couple of weeks or months, that we can regain our footing and know how we can best treat this virus and protect the most vulnerable.
Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Why don't you subscribe? It's really easy. Just click on that button down there. And for more news from MSNBC, click on any of these videos here for the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more videos from MSNBC with our newsletters. Head over to msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up.